Alright, what's going on, guys? Crimson here. So, I'm actually recording a second video because I had the first one recorded. I thought it was perfect. I was ready to edit and upload it, but I accidentally messed up my bitrate. I was trying to use CPU and I didn't like how that was running, so I switched it back to normal encoder and I forgot to change my bitrate, and my quality looks like 720p. And I'll show recording right now. Here's a little bit of gameplay. I don't know when I publish it will look as bad, and if it doesn't I'll be really upset, but this is kind of what it looked like at the moment. You know what, I'm not even gonna try to figure out these Modern Warfare 2 leaks, guys, because quite literally every time I look at my Twitter, they're just gone. I mean, they're like they're getting disabled for copyright, but I just want to see a little bit so I could say something on it. Like, the only thing I saw was like a 720p, like, no, it was like a 180p, same quality as my last video I recorded, video of my Kai jumping on a truck. Like, it was literally just you jumping on a truck and that's it. Like, it was the most like lackluster gameplay ever. Now, granted, I heard that most of the gameplay that's being leaked is mainly campaign type stuff, so maybe that's why it's not that interesting. Because I doubt there's ever going to be any multiplayer leaked, especially because, like, I bet you multiplayer's, like, not even, like, completely done, and, like, even in a good state from the even showcase. I bet you they're going to be saving that for last, because if the multiplayer gets leaked and it's, like, actually really bad, then no one's ever going to want to play it. Maybe not no one's going to want to play it, but people are going to be really disappointed. Probably not be that motivated to play the game. I actually kind of like it. This little ACR Type 20 gun, it's actually pretty good. It's not the best gun I've ever used, but bro, what is this guy doing? Is he just... Oh, they're all spawning right there. No! What? How did I die so fast? $52 kills. So, anyway, a few days ago, I actually had the luxury of being able to watch the KSI fights because DAZN decided to graciously upload it on YouTube for us. So, shout out to those guys for not being 100% greedy and not making me have to pay $30 just to watch a few fights. I do want to say those special mention to Dean the Great and Salt Poppy. I watched their fights and they did really good. They both honestly destroyed their fighters. I know Salt Poppy did a little bit better than Dean. His was like over in like the first like 20 seconds. But Dean honestly had really good form. He was like the most entertaining to watch. I think he was like the most skilled fighter out of everybody there. Maybe even KSI. I think if KSI were to fight anybody next before like Jake Paul, really, I think he should fight Dean because Dean might give him a good fight, not gonna lie. It might be more entertaining than the fights that KSI got in general. I think the one fight I was looking forward to the most besides KSI was his fight against Fuzi. Because I know Deji, he's been working really hard for his fight, and he's been taking a lot of L's the past couple of years, like with his girlfriend, having fights with his brother, losing like all of his fights, not training hard enough, etc. So the fact that he was able to pull off this win against Fuzi honestly made me Oh, fuck. Honestly, it made me really, really happy. Deji made Fuzi look like an amateur, dude. He really did not stand a chance. Like, Fuzi, man, he looked scary, but Deji made him look like just like a overgrown buffoon. Like, it's like if you took Broly, put up against, like, the whole, like, that type of fight, like... You know, maybe not the Hulk versus Broly, because she wasn't that big, but you get the point. I'm surprised Fuzi's team didn't throw in the towel, like, much earlier on. Like, even starting from, like, round 1, Deji was just making Fuzi, like, run in circles. Fuzi was missing, like, every punch, and Deji was just, like... It's like he knew what Fuzi was gonna do. Like, he was in Ultra Instinct. I'll say the only time Fuzi really, really had me scared throughout that whole fight was when he, like, was going for his big overhand punch on Deji. I didn't think Deji was gonna be able to survive it, but Deji literally just dodged it, and, like, Fuzi's, like, last attempt at doing anything in the whole game. It was honestly like you practice Mortal Kombat, like, every day, and you're, like, ready to go to, like, your local tournament. And then, like, you get slapped by the guy who just, like, didn't seem like he'd slap you up. I think if I remember correctly, like, Deji even knocked Fuzi down, and I was surprised about that, too. Like, it didn't seem like Deji would be, like, the type of person to throw, like, hard hits, but I think Fuzi got knocked down at least 1 or 2 times, if I remember correctly. But yeah, just throughout the whole round, Deji just overperformed and outshined Fuzi in every way, and I'm just really happy. No! Oh, come on! Also, can anyone else believe that Temper got knocked out? Like, I was watching his fight with Slim, and it was just really embarrassing for Temper to get knocked out like that. Not even gonna lie, like, the one thing Slim was really doing the whole time was being like a giant carrot bear. Like, he just kept hugging Temper the whole time and, like, wore him out and finally just knocked him out. Good strategy, but it was kind of annoying to watch because all he was doing was hugging him. He was worse than Logan Paul. Like, I think if Logan Paul and Slim got in a fight, it'd probably just be a Care Bear match the whole time. I'll say, out of all the fights, my most disappointing fight that I saw yet was the Sensei versus King Kenny. Sensei, I really thought was just gonna whoop King Kenny and call it a day, but I don't think he was in it, man. Like, I don't think he was really willing to fight at all. It just seemed like, just like the commentators were also saying, like, it just felt like Sensei didn't want to hurt him. Like, it felt like he was also trying to, like, play some sort of, like, mental chess game and win only by points and not beating the crap out of him. Which, I mean, I guess in normal martial arts, that's probably, like, the best thing to do. But, like, in the boxing match, you kind of still gotta punch the guy in the face. Because the whole time, sure, Sensei was dodging all the punches, and King Kenny sometimes wasn't hitting him, but it was just boring. And King Kenny just looked better. This is coming from a guy who wanted Sensei to win, and I think I would have more of a bias towards Face Sensei, but he just wasn't performing like how I think he should have. I think if Sensei really picks an opponent he has, like, a gripe with and actually tries to actually start throwing punches instead of being, like, essentially scared to punch the dude, then maybe so even if it gets overturned, I don't think they give Sensei the win. It should just be a tie, like they did Logan Paul and KSI, even though I felt like Logan Paul and KSI had a more clear-cut win the first time. And now, for the moment I have been waiting for a while, when KSI stepped in the ring to fight Swarms, I didn't know what to expect. I haven't been really keeping up with it on Twitter that much, and I know Swarms was getting memed on a lot, but I truly didn't know Swarms was, like, a boxer at all, or he's just some random Joe that decided to fight KSI. He might have been the guy that KSI has made a couple videos with. I don't know for sure, though. I don't recognize him off the top of my head. But going into the Swarms vs. KSI fight, I didn't know what to expect. You could just tell Swarms getting into the ring of KSI. You're, like, at a Smash tournament. You're facing, like, Mewtwo King, and, like, you just started playing Smash Bros like day of, and you didn't expect yourself to get that far, and now you had to face like the best Smash player you've ever faced in your life. It was really like that. Swarms, he wasn't like a happy feet, he was more like butter feet. Like he had like chicken legs. There's so many things I could describe Swarms' performance. I think it was kind of embarrassing. I couldn't even laugh at the guy. It was just heartbreaking to see like how scared he was. Like you could tell he just was not ready. The nerves were getting to him. He was also definitely not confident in his own ability to win. And to even top it all off, every time KSI was like throwing a punch at him, Swarms was like falling over. Like KSI was punching this dude so hard, it's like he was facing like Saitama. Like every punch was like just a shockwave on the Swarms' body. He was just like, At the end of the day, there's so much you can do, and when you're that nervous and you keep stumbling and falling over, you might as well just give up. I don't think, even if he had tried relatively, he would have did better than he did in the first place. And then moving on to KSI's second fight against, I think his name was Pineda, or Pinata. I'm just gonna call him Pinata, because although Deji McFuzi looked like a giant Pinata, Pinata was the true Pinata of the night. I was watching, I'll admit, KSI was low-key throwing a whole bunch of like behind the headshots, but he didn't have to complain that much. Like, I think he spent the whole time complaining about getting hit in the back of the head instead of just trying to beat up KSI for hitting him in the back of the head. Maybe he was expecting to be like super duper professional, and it was gonna be like KSI was actually gonna get docked points and like the fight was gonna stop if he kept doing all those penalty shots. But I noticed that's like KSI's favorite move. But both fights, KSI like showed like really good fighting skill, and it was actually really entertaining to watch. I felt like KSI was like a maestro, like just the finesse he had with his punches and his movement was really entertaining to watch. And I feel like KSI was doing a lot of those punches to begin with, because I think he kind of knew what he was getting into with this guy, and he knew he had like a temper, so I think that's why he kept going for those like semi-illegal punches that made the guy irritated, because after a while, Pinata just really got angry, and like he just like wasn't fighting right. His mental went out the window, and KSI was just toying with him after like literally like the first round. Like it got to the point where this dude was like flailing his arms around and having like a crybaby fit over what was happening to him. And I don't blame him at all, but I mean, you're supposed to be a professional boxer, and I did see apparently he had lost like 5 times in a row, so maybe at this point he was just done with boxing and he was just so frustrated always taking L's, and so he just kind of gave up.
Sit in the back, ayy, bitches all on my lap. They said, Billy, damn, you so cold. I'm so chilly, yeah, my neck froze. Yeah, I'm gonna kill it, I'm thinking I'm like, oh, yeah. You think it's a joke? Your girlfriend just text me, she on the way over. Bend that bitch over, fucking the road, but call it a night. Wake up and start over. Ayy, shit's a wavy.